Days like these are not the best for our rotary vehicles to be out on the road, but days like these are perfect for us to stay in warm garage and continue to work on our project cars. I wanted to thank the community for your support and admiration that you've shown in the first couple of videos that we've shared. I really appreciate the encouragement to continue to make these for all of us to follow and enjoy. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to my Rotary Life Garage.
All right, so now we're gonna get I'm gonna get the oil filter off. So I put a drain pan down there and see if anything runs out of that. And then kind of my goal is to get this wire harness out without hurting anything else. Um, and then go from there. So we'll take a look at the oil filter, but so far so good. I don't see anything glittering in there. And we drained the oil and we didn't see anything in there either. Alright, so for oil metering pump, we're gonna get this off, and then we're gonna get this connector off. I don't know what that is. They're smaller and they're short. Okay? Put those right there. They look the same? It's pretty cool. Screw. See the difference? Oh, the cone shaped top, right? And if you look at it this way, it's going to cone shape. So that's not a bolt. And we need screws. So one of the last things I need to do is to get this fuel injector wire connected to the primary fuel injector on the back side, and then this whole harness I think will lift, and we'll leave it up here on the top. And that way we don't have to worry about that wire that goes all the way back there in the automatic transmission. I haven't seen anybody do that, but they tend to go and take out all that, the entire harness all the way from the back. I don't know if it's necessary, so I'm going to try to do that. So I'm already losing it. One, there's two on that side. Right. I think this should just start come right out. Just worried that of course I don't want to booger it. Just this clamp, gently get it off, and then this should just back out. Go. Now, if I could just wiggle this out here, and then we do have a clear access now to this wire. You see, this is deep in here, and so there's no way to get to it until I kind of took this off. So, anyways, as I can. And if you're doing this project, I mean, I'm assuming you guys must have watched other videos, of course, and what I noticed was two main things really. Is the detail was missing when it came to showing some of this removal. And of course, most videos are interesting around just putting the engine back together and those type of deals, but most people kind of rush through this, understandably. I mean, probably a lot of videos out there, or it's just not interesting or something, but I really do think that this is interesting, and it's worth documenting this, because when you're trying to put this back together, I for sure am not going to remember everything, so I wanted to document this for myself. And then I thought, okay, I have not seen a video that goes into such detail of removal. And look, here we go. We're finally able to get all of this off. Look at these primary injectors. These are two primary ones. So here we are. So what we've done is basically taken all of the wiring harness, as the wiring harness spider, and put it on one side. And all that's left here now is the engine. There's no electrical connection whatsoever. And then here you can see I've basically taken the fuel injectors out from underneath. Now we're starting to get to the point where you can already see the rotor housings as well as the irons, and really exciting. So I'm gonna get that bracket off. The bracket. So there's a few other small things we wanted to do. Is I'm thinking just get that thermostat out of there, because it's just gonna get in the way of things. So remove that thermostat. Let's get that done. It's already loose anyways. And then what we'll do is we'll try and see if some of the hoses need to come off. We'll try to get that off. That's why here, I think that's a 12 on there already. And lead, I think I can go on like that. I know most people take this off like when the engine's already out, but I've seen people kind of get this hung up on this lip right here. So I figured, why not take this off. All right, so we're gonna get those oil metering nozzles out of the way, because as we talked about before, that piece, the plastic piece for the vacuum, that's chintzy, breaks easy. Plus, as you know, the oil metering lines are cheap plastic, or maybe not cheap, but definitely not cheap when it comes to replacing it. So Ty's getting off the lines. I mentioned to him how expensive those nozzles are, and it's best to get them out of the way. Here comes that.
I think those need to be, these little bitty lines need to be replaced, because that just slid right off. And this is, unless there's a ferrule or something in there, that's super hard on that end.
All right, here comes that. Second small spider is out.
Is there any springs in here?
No, it just comes right off.
Okay.
There you go. Alright, I'm gonna get a good soak of PB blaster on these, because the next thing is we're gonna have to take these off so that this part can come off with the engine. So. Alright, so taking these 3 exhaust bolts. Keep a straight angle on the bolt, because, or the nut, I mean, you go crooked on it, you're gonna booger it. So make more work for yourself.
What we're working on right now is to pull these bolts out of this bell housing, but it's not working very well. So yeah, we've been fighting to get these bell housing bolts out, especially the ones on top. What we've decided to do is, instead of going from the back like we were trying to with a bunch of extensions, is we're going to take the exhaust manifold off. Nick is going to try to pull the bolts out of there. Pop. That's always scary when it does that.
I had pre-blasted them at night. A bit better understanding of how things are in here. So now this catalytic converter is on our way in the angle. Try to get that bell housing board off. So this cat has to come off. We're gonna try to take a few things off at a time, see what works, and then decide, you know, how we can do the minimum to take off. But if we need to continue to take more things off, we will. So that's what I'm doing now. Well, this would have been perfect timing if the engine was still out, but look at that. That's West Texas for you, a double rainbow. Beautiful. This bolt has a lip. So, the spring rests on that, and that lip is inside of this ring and goes through and gets stuck in here. That's why I had to wiggle it. And now, cat is out. So we're working on trying to get the hood off. So I've seen many folks show this already, but just for getting a pretty good documentation of what we're doing, I'm gonna take this hood off and just capture it on the video. So at this point, you might want to have a buddy, which I have my brother-in-law here. And pan out here for a second. This is our engine stand being built. We're gonna get that so we can stack up the engine on that. And yep, we splurged a lot to get a Daytona. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in the next episode soon.